हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, स्वागत है आपका हम मेरे YouTube चैनल पे #RVInfo+। इस चैनल के माध्यम से मैं आपको DOE के द्वारा दी गई वर्कशीट नंबर 25 जो कि 31/8/2020 को दी गई थी आपको, उसमें कंटेंट का हम एनालिसिस करेंगे। जो वर्कशीट नंबर 25 है वो रेस्पिरेशन पे दी गई है, रेस्पिरेशन इन प्लांट्स एंड एनिमल्स पे। हमने देखा रेस्पिरेशन प्रोसेस है क्या एक्चुअली। जो रेस्पिरेशन प्रोसेस है वो ऑक्सीडेशन ऑफ फूड टू रिलीज द एनर्जी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ATP। एक्चुअली respiration process involves two processes, that is breathing and cellular respiration. Breathing is taking in oxygen rich air and giving out carbon dioxide rich air, whereas respiration is the oxidation of food to release energy. It's a cellular respiration. A cellular process take place inside the cell. It takes place in the mitochondria of the cell. Respiration can be taken into two ways: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. The aerobic respiration take place in the presence of oxygen, whereas anaerobic respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. The detailed explanation is present in my other video. You can look into it. Respiration in animals, present on YouTube channel. So let us start about the worksheet. Means in the worksheet, respiration in plants. How does plants respire? The main respiratory structure in plants are leaf. Leaf contain numerous spores called as stomata. Means respiration in plants take place through stomata. The structure is being drawn on the board. The other part of the plant, the woody area, means the stem. There is another minute opening called as lenticels through which exchange of gases take place. Means there are two structures. There are stomata on the leaf and the lenticels on the stems, which are helpful in exchange of gases. The other question arises, how does this exchange of gases take place? We have studied in the previous classes about diffusion. Means the exchange of gases take place through the process of diffusion. Diffusion is the movement of particles from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Means the change of gases take place through the process called diffusion. Means carbon dioxide is given out whereas oxygen is taken in during the process of respiration. How do plants do it? We have seen that respiration process take place both in day and night. What happens in the day? Here we have two diagrams of stomata. Means one that is during daytime. This is the position of the stomata during the daytime. Let us first explain the structure of stomata. How does a stomata look like? What are the different parts of the stomata? Stomata contains two large cells called as guard cells. These are guard cells. These are kidney shaped cells. As you know, it is a cell, then it must have contained all the cellular organelles. Means it contains a vacuole, centrally located, a large vacuole, a nucleus, chloroplast. Stomata also contains chloroplast and a cell wall. During daytime these stomata are open, but during night they became closed. So during daytime the exchange of gases take place through these stomatal opening as stroma. When these stromas are open, exchange of gases take place through these openings. What happens actually during day and night? Respiration, we have seen that it takes place both during day and night. What happens during daytime? Daytime, two processes in the plant take place, that is photosynthesis and respiration. Simultaneously they are taking place. What happens during daytime? During daytime, the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is being used up by the process of photosynthesis. Means the carbon dioxide gas is not or very little released during daytime. The only gas which is released is oxygen. But what happens during night time when the stomata are closed? When stomata are closed, the photosynthesis during night time it stopped. The only gas released by the plant is carbon dioxide. Means the carbon dioxide produced during respiration is now unable to be used during the photosynthesis, because as a photosynthesis process is not taking place during night time. That's why we are always advised in the village that we shouldn't sleep at night under a tree, because the concentration of CO2 get accumulated in that area, feels suffocation in breathing. So we have seen what happens during day and night time. Next topic about which is given in the worksheet is about respiration in animals, especially in aquatic animals, those organisms which are living in water. Example, fish. How do fish breathe? We have seen in the earlier classes that fish breathe through gills. Means there are pair of gills present on either side of the body, which are covered by a flap-like structure called as operculum. Operculum is a flap-like structure which covers the gill. When you open the operculum, you will find out a red color leafy-like structures. They are called as gills. These are the respiratory structure in fishes. Human breathe through lungs. Earthworm breathe through skin. Means every animals have different respiratory structures. Let us see how does fish breathe. You have seen often in an aquarium fish taking water into the mouth. It takes water through the mouth, and these water passes through the gill area. Means when water is taken into the mouth, oxygen, means what type of oxygen actually? That is dissolved in water. Fish use oxygen that is dissolved in water, is taken into the mouth and is passed through gills. Gills are highly supplied by blood capillaries, and the wall of the gills are highly permeable. Oxygen gas diffuses into the blood and carbon dioxide is releases back into the water, which goes out of the gill. Means oxygen get enter into the body and carbon dioxide release into water through the process of respiration. Now we have seen this respiration in animals. We have seen fishes breathing very fast as compared to human beings or terrestrial animals, those animals living on land. What is the difference between the rate of breathing? Sometimes these questions are being asked in the board examination. What is the difference between the rate of breathing between terrestrial animals and the aquatic animals? The rate of breathing is always higher in aquatic animals. Why it is so? Because the amount of oxygen present in water is much fairly low than the amount of oxygen present in air. Means we know that the percentage of oxygen present in air is 21%, whereas 2% of oxygen is present in water. So the rate of breathing obviously should be much faster in aquatic animals. So we have seen why the rate of breathing is much faster in aquatic animals than terrestrial animals. Next, what are the characteristics? When you go through your worksheet, when you just go through your worksheet, in the right corner of your worksheet is present a box. Which box contains a topic called as characteristics of respiratory surface. I would like to read it out. Just go through it. It must be a thin, means the surface should be thin and delicate so that easy diffusion can take place. It must be permeable to respiratory gases. It must be moist either through water or mucus. Just we have seen in earthworm the surface is highly mucused. Means when it walks also, when it crawls, it leaves the water line behind it. It should have a large surface area. Large surface area helps the easy diffusion of gases through the surface and the material. It must be direct contact with the oxygen. Means the surface should be in direct contact with the environment, so that easy diffusion can take place through the surface and the environment. As we have seen, our lungs are not are in direct contact with the environment. Then what happens? We have a specialized structures. We have nostril, we have windpipe, we have trachea, we have bronchi, which carries these oxygen to that surface. So they are specialized structures which designed in such a way that these oxygen these airs can be easily taken into their respiratory surfaces. So we have seen about the respiration in animals. Let us discuss some questions regarding what are the questions we have mentioned in the worksheet. The first question is, I would like to read it. Name the respiratory organ of plant and draw the diagram. Respiratory organ of plant is actually what? It is stomata. We will draw the diagram of stomata. How do plant breathe? We will explain the process of breathing. How by the process of diffusion, oxygen is taken into the stomata through the inside the stomata, and carbon dioxide is released. Next question is about do plant breathe in night? Yes, plant do breathe in night. How do fish breathe? We have explained how breathing take place in fishes. We have to explain the whole process. Next and the last question is, what are the three characteristics of respiratory structures? And lastly, we have discussed about the they should have a thin delicate membrane, should be moist, and moist layer, should be large surface area, and so that easy diffusion of gases can take place. So we have completed worksheet number 25. Hope you have understand this video and will be helpful in solving this worksheet. Thank you for watching my channel. Please be connected. I will be bringing other worksheets also. Thanks for watching.